Hello everyone, welcome back to today's episode of LeetCode Daily. And today we are solving question number 3381, maximum subarray sum with length divisible by k. So this is a medium level question. Let me expand it for you. Let's first understand the question and then we will go through the solution. So the question that we have today is maximum subarray sum with length divisible by k. So what we have to do is we are obviously given an array of integers called nums and an integer of input k. Now what we have to do is we have to return the maximum sum of a subarray. What does a subarray means? Suppose there is an array -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Any array which is made of the elements of this array, doesn't matter in the same like the sequence or other, but the elements existing in the main array, then that array is called the sub array. Sub array means like a subset, so it is a sub array of the main array. So what we have to do, we have to do the return the maximum sum of a sub array of array nums such that the size of the sub array is divisible by k. So the thing is, what we have to do, we have to return the sum. But what condition is there? Of subarray is that the size of subarray should be divisible by k, not the sum, the size. So that's why it is a medium level question, I guess. Otherwise, it would have been very easy, because like here we have to see the maximum sum of an subarray, and also we have to maintain the condition that the size of the subarray is divisible by k. So here in the first example, we are given nums equals to 1 2 and k equals to 1, and the output is 3. Why? Because the subarray 1 to itself, it can include the complete array also. The subarray 1 to itself with sum 3, 1 plus 2 is 3, has length 2. We have to see the length, which is 2 length, 2 characters. The length 2 is divisible by 1. Similarly, in this array, so what it is, we have to return the sum and also see if it is divisible by the given k or not. Okay, in this array, suppose -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, this is here. Okay, and we are given an input k equals to 4. Now we have to return, what we have to return, we have to return the number which is the sum of the elements which is divisible by 4, also the number of elements. So what it is, basically we have to return the maximum sum. So the sum of -1, -2, -3, -4 is -10 obviously, and also the size should be divisible by k. So if there are 4 elements, the size is 4, which is divisible by 4. Okay, otherwise we could have taken -5 also, but then the sum of elements is not be divisible by k. Now here in this array, here we have taken 1 2 -3 4. Okay, yeah, one more thing, we cannot juggle the characters. Like suppose here -1 is at the first, then 1, then 2, then -3, then 4. So we can't write like we can't take like 4 in the front, -5 at the last. So it has to be in sequence as an array of sub array of the main array. The example, in this example, -5 1 2 3 1 2 -3 and 4, we have taken what, the last, these ones, 1 2 -3 and 4. So like 1 2 -3 4. Why? Because k equals to 2, so that means the number of characters should be divisible by k, which is 2. So the number of characters in the selected array is 4, and also the sum is maximum, because if we had included the first 4 characters, then what would have been the sum? -5 plus 1 plus 2 plus -3, it would have been -5 itself, because -5 plus 1 -4, -4 minus plus 2 -2, -2 -3 -5. But if we are adding 1 2 -3 4, then what it is, it is like 4. So like it is the maximum sum. So we also have to see that the sum should be maximum, the character should not be juggling, and the length, the number of characters, the length should be divisible by the given k. Okay, so I hope you guys are able to understand the conditions. So like let me write out the conditions in the comment here itself. Like where do I write, I guess you just guys can keep in mind or write in a copy that the conditions of this question, like after this question, the condition should be the sum of subarray should be maximum, the number of elements of the subarray should be divisible by the given k, and also the subarray can't be should be in the complete sequence as provided in the question. If you can't juggle the characters, you can cut the character, you can take specific characters, but they should be in complete proper sequence and order. Now let's get back to writing the code. First I will write the code, then I will explain you on the way. Okay, So let's write the code. Let me expand the coding section now. Hope you guys are able to see it clearly. I would recommend it watching on big screens or whatever. Like even if you're watching on a phone, I will put the question link in the description, and also I will zoom it at the end solution so you guys can see it clearly. So first we are defining the long variable. Let me write the code first so that I can focus on the code, as I am also doing it first time. I'm maintaining the streak of the day, I mean this question, so it will be great for me also to focus on it. You guys can also code along, and then I will explain you guys each and every line. Okay, so first we are taking this variable. Now we are taking this long prefix equals to 0 semicolon obviously, and then the minimum prefix, which means I mod of k, which means the minimum prefix sum of the first I numbers. That means the minimum sum. We have to start with the minimum sum and then find the maximum sum of the subarray. Okay, I know this looks vague explanation, but once you start and once you know the basic concept, you can start understanding the question itself without even needing an explanation. But I will provide line by line explanation after writing this code, so just bear with me. You can also write along with me. New long k arrays dot fill minimum prefix max value, then divisible by 2, then semicolon. Now minimum prefix should be less than the value, which means if the length of the length of the array is not divisible by the given input, then it should be equals to 0. You guys might be thinking I am just blabbing stuff, so yeah, it's right. I'm just trying to write the explanation code first, and then I will explain you guys, then I will run the code, verify it in front of you, and that's how it goes. Complete transparency and complete explanation with the community. So we are running a for loop here. Nums dot length, then increment operator, then prefix equals to nums I. Also one more thing, you guys let me know if you guys prefer the dark mode of the screen for the content that I'm providing you guys, basically solutions, or the light mode, because I have been using dark mode myself, so I just record my screen and do it with you guys. But if you guys think that the white background is more convenient for you, which I don't think will be for most of the coders, because like the dark mode is a love for coders, but still you guys can let me know. I am all ears for your preferences, and we can do it accordingly in the future solutions. Now semicolon. Okay, I have written the maximum subarray function math.max the answer, and the minimum prefix. Now yeah, one more thing, minimum prefix I divided by k equals to math dot minimum, again brackets, minimum prefix square brackets I mod of k prefix. Now we will return the final answer here. return semicolon. Now let me explain you guys the line by line code explanation of this. So for complete beginners, this is our class solution. I know this is a silly thing to explain, but this is the class solution that LeetCode will call. So you can't change the name of it, at least while coding the LeetCode. Okay. Now then it is public long max sub array sum int array nums int k. So it is basically the input array that we have taken, then the input k. So this is the function that LeetCode will call, which is max sub array sum, and we return the long because the sum of numbers can extend the 32-bit range of numbers that has been decided. So that's why we are using long everywhere here, because it can exceed the sum basically. Now what, long answer equals to long dot minimum, wait long answer, like I will go by the lines here itself. So long answer is equals to long dot min underscore value. So that means answer will store the maximum subarray sum whose length is divisible by k. Obviously long answer here in long is a data type, and answer will store the maximum subarray sum whose length should be divisible by k. So there are two conditions. First, like the two conditions or two situations that we can say, that it should have a max sum that should be maximum, and also it should be divisible by k, the length of it. So answer will store the maximum subarray sum whose length is divisible by k, and it starts with the smallest possible long value, so any real answer will be bigger. Now the next line, fourth line long prefix 0, which means we will keep running the prefix sum. Prefix means before, and after that we will keep adding characters. So long prefix equals to 0. Now what, now long minimum prefix equals to new long, so it will be keep adding, which means here long minimum prefix equals to new long k. What does this mean? This means that we keep the array of size k, and then minimum prefix r, which means the smallest prefix sum among indices j, where j should be divisible by k and should be equal to ry, because the indices I and j should be equal. And I know it is getting confusing for you guys, so let's move forward. Then this line minimum, then this is a array dot fill, we are putting the values of it. Now minimum prefix k minus 1 equals to 0. Why? This is the most important trick, because like we are considering the prefix before index. So like we are considering -1, like the index, we normally it is 0 indexed. Arrays are 0 indexed, if you know. So we are considering it from -1. So if the prefix sum would be 0, and the like the minimum prefix of k minus 1 should be equal to 0. Now what is the thing, the main for loop. So here we are running for int I equals to 0, I less than nums dot length plus I, which means we are iterating over each index basically. So like here we have to write plus I, which is first it should see it, then iterate. Okay, so that is what we are doing here. We are iterating over the complete array. This is the main function of this like the for loop. Then prefix plus equals to sum nums dot I, which is updating the prefix sum, and it is after each scanning through each array, it is updating the sum of elements from 0 to ith index from wherever it has scanned till then. Now the last one is answer equals to math dot max answer slash comma prefix minus minimum prefix, this line. What? Because this returns a sub array whose length should be divisible by k. Now the condition that the length should be divisible by k is that the I minus j, my ith index, and then j also should be divisible by k. That means 0 remainder, and they should be equal. So the last line is minimum prefix I divided by k math dot minimum prefix. Here we update the minimum prefix for this remainder class, and the smaller prefix sum helps produce a larger future subarray sum, and we keep adding the minimum one. I hope you guys are able to understand it. Basically the the summary of algorithm is, we compute prefix sums, prefix means previous ones, and for every index I we match it to the smallest earlier prefix sum with the same index mod of k, because that guarantees the subarray length is divisible by k. So every time we add it, we check the length. So that is what we are doing, and we track the maximum such subarray sum. Okay, now let's run it. Maybe I'm not able to explain you guys that much better, because it is kind of a tricky concept. Maybe I need to use a pen tab or something to explain it by doing examples here on the screen. Hope we will be able to make that affordable in the future. Let me run it for now, and at least the code should be right. and here we got an error. What is the error? Let's see. Let me check the error once. Let me see what is the error. Met.max, then prefix minus minimum prefix I divided by k. Yeah, it is right. What is wrong? Okay. Okay, then let's go to chat GPT now. That is what every good engineer does. Let's go to chat GPT. Yeah, this screen is also getting recorded, I guess. Yeah, so let's just copy paste the code and see the error. We are doing chat GPT together now. What is the typo fixed and the logic meeting? What is the typo here? Typo. Acha. Oh shit, spelling mistake. Okay. Yeah, sorry guys. It is just a spelling mistake because I knew the code was right and all because I studied it earlier also. I mean, doing it for the first time with you guys, but studied the concept and all. Yeah, finally we have run it. Now submitted. You guys can also write the code like me. Go to ChatGPT, understand it, and obviously even if you're not like don't understand the basic things, then you can ask the ChatGPT also to teach you line by line. That is also what you can do. So here is the code. We have bitten 100%. The time complexity 4 millisecond. Now let me zoom in the code itself so that you guys can also see. This is the final code. So we have completed the streak of the day. Let's meet tomorrow. Here is the code. I will put the link of the question in the description box. Sorry for the inconvenience and the lack of explanation if it feels like that, but you guys also should strengthen your basic concepts and let me know if I should prefer a white mode rather than dark mode, and also if I should take out a series of explaining basic concepts first. But we will be continuing LeetCode daily because I have to do it. I am doing with you people. So thank you. Let's meet tomorrow.